YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy BENJI, and we are back balling. Breaking news the other day was Bryce James hurrying up and committing to Arizona. Bear down. I thought it was a joke at first, but truly enough, it was legitimate. Bryce is gonna be a Bear. You know what I mean? Of course, we got plenty of comments like this. A lot of people believe that Bryce is the better son of NBA Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer at least, LeBron James. And it looks like he's ready to carve out his own future, his own destiny there. He definitely got some people divided because people are looking towards the future. Like you got people here talking about something. He's definitely a first round pick if he takes college more than the season. 100,000% agree with you. If you've been watching him shoot, he shoots way better and he's bigger and he will be more like LeBron than Bronny ever will. I do think it's just unfortunate because no matter what, these guys can blaze their own path, can try to head in their own direction. I mean, the two of them have gone to college, something that LeBron James has never done. But no matter what, they're going to always be tied to their daddy. So it does stink. Of course, LeBron James has become so successful in his own right that anything they do is going to pale in comparison as well. But that's another shadow they'll just never be able to get out under.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. How special was that in your household? What went into the decision, and what was your reaction?
Well, it was his decision to make, and he went where he felt comfortable. The straight shooter, Coach LLOYD, the straight shooter, gave him exactly what they believed in him and what they thought about him as a person, as a player, and I'll be happy to be a part of the Bear Down community now. Got some terrible friends in Richard Jefferson and Frye that are alum there, so not too excited about that, but other than that, we're excited to go to be a part of the Tucson community.
A lot of people have expressed that Tommy Lloyd is one of those people that is a straight shooter. And even this Forbes article here talks about Arizona basketball coach Tommy Lloyd is known for his ability to recruit and develop talent, especially big men and wings who aspire to the next level. He got that approval from BRONNY and Bryce. Bryce James told Arizona after considering USC, Ohio State, and DUQUENSE. The Dukes, the first team to offer Bryce a scholarship, coached by Drew Joyce's third, who was LeBron's high school teammate. Now that, interestingly enough, is what would have made a little bit of sense to me. I mean, they're not amazing, but obviously, Lil Drew was one of LeBron's closest friends. I'm sure that Bryce and Bronny have had a lengthy experiences with him as well. I mean, they got a couple guys here averaging over 10 points a game. They're like right under 500. I could have seen that being a solid pick for him. But here's the truth I think we're going to get into. Bryce James is a 6'6" wing. And of course, he's the son of LeBron James. His stats in 5 Peach Jam games. Now, if you don't know, Peach Jam is AAU that is of the EYBL League, the Nike League. 5.5 points, 2.8 rebounds, 1 block, 3 from 13 from 3, 18% in the EYBL, or Peach games. And this is what I think a lot of people are truly expecting of Bryce. Bryce has been given time and space to run his own race. He may not be the dynamic athlete or playmaker that some expect at first, but he's a fundamentally sound player with solid perimeter size and a good skill set. Bryce has made no secret of his admiration of the UA program. He attended the Wildcats' home game against Duke on November 22nd and posted a photograph of himself wearing an Arizona leather jacket, captioned "Bear Down" in reference to that athletic department's motto. I mean, everybody does that. Lloyd is the principal recruiter at Gonzaga before taking over the head coach. At Arizona 21 and 22, was named the National Coach of the Year by National Association of Basketball Coaches at his first year at Tucson. The 33 and 4 Wildcats won the Pac-12 title by melding an international group that included wing Benedict Mathurin, Azuolas Tubelis, Kirk Risa, and Santa Coloco. I think Coloco's still there. Coloco got paid. Mathurin, 6'6", was a consensus All-American Pac-12 Player of the Year, and Coloco was Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Tubelis was a second-team All-American in 2023, and transfer guard Caleb Love was Pac-12 Player of the Year in 2024. Love, a fifth-year senior who was averaging 21.7 points per game for the 75 Wildcats, and 6'6" trade sound said, have expiring eligibility. They showed support by Love telling him, pull up. Lloyd said, if we learned anything over the past few years is that we should never underestimate genetics. I agree. We should never underestimate the genetics. And when it comes to genetics, there is another prospect that is possibly headed to Arizona. 5-star prospect and the son of a future NBA Hall of Famer, Alijah Arenas, has reclassified to the 2025 class. 6'6" shooting guard told 24/7 Sports that he's waiting on the necessary paperwork to be submitted. My family and I have made a decision when to go to my junior year. Basically, Alijah Arenas, son of NBA star Gilbert Arenas, can potentially head to Arizona the same season. He plans to make his decision in March, April. I think it's a smart decision. Give it the time. A lot of people like to get it over with early, but give it a little time. That way you can see how everything folds out. He took an unofficial visit to Arizona for the Wildcats game against Duke in November. Also at that game was Bryce James. I see how the environment is. The school's amazing. The environment, the intensity is crazy high. They're like family, and they show a lot of love over there. I've had everybody on the staff. My dad went there, but he's open to me going anywhere. Landing Arenas will be the biggest recruiting coup for Arizona coach LLOYD. The 17-year-old is considered one to be the elite scorers for his age. Averaged 22 points to the Adidas 3 SSB in July, where he shot 46% from three-point range.
The narrative is spread that Bryce James is the true savior of the James family legacy. But what if I told you by the same age, it appears that Bryce James isn't even living up to the standards of his big brother. Bryce James, now 17 years old, has remained a somewhat enigmatic figure in basketball circles. While Bronny has received intense media attention as early as elementary school for his on-the-court play, Bryce has mostly flown under the radar for much of his career. Early scouting reports were optimistic, praising his potential to develop into a player with a similar frame to LeBron's 6'8" stature. In 2021, for example, 247 Sports highlighted Bryce's height, natural shooting ability, basketball IQ, and defensive instincts as key strengths, slotting him as the 24th best player in the class. Though middle school rankings will oftentimes vary wildly from the rankings by the end of high school. At 14 years old, he was already taller than his father had been at the same age after an early growth spurt, and projections suggested he might reach or exceed LeBron's height. However, as Bryce progressed through high school, these lofty expectations have faced challenges. Playing at Sierra Canyon, Bryce has struggled to stand out. Sierra Canyon is a national powerhouse that pumps out NBA prospects on a yearly basis.
Here's what I got to say about that, too. I think, interestingly enough, bro, we just grading the two by different metrics. For some reason, everybody is assumed that Bronny has only got to where he is simply because of merit, simply because of nepotism. I don't understand it. But then we got other guys like Alijah Arenas, like I mentioned, that are in the same class as Bronny. I'm sorry, it's Bryce. And a similar pedigree. His dad played in the NBA. I think we just got to call a spade for what a spade is. Bryce James is not nearly as good as Bronny. I am sure that Coach is honest and sees the potential and sees a role for Bronny. I'm sorry. For Bryce. I'm sure Coach Lloyd knows exactly that they would have an opportunity to use this guy, put him in the slots. Arizona seems like it's a solid enough program for Bryce because I've seen guys who've kind of been able to fit that role. My issue with Bryce is going to be consistency. He's not truly a shooter. He's not a ball handler by any sense of the word. And I think, interestingly enough, Arizona's been really, really good. I've been able to actually catch a couple of Arizona games in person. They get up and down. They're going to defend. They're going to move. They're going to make things happen. I don't see Bryce fitting in that system. Bronny, maybe, at the same age. We've seen Bronny have the ability from the high school to the pros to be able to pick up guards full court, turn them. He's kind of been able to elevate himself into a position on the G League roster right now where he is locking up. You know what I mean? He's a pest. He can be that. He's going to be able to turn the ball handle over a couple times simply because he's pressing them full game. But if I go back to Bryce, I just don't see that. And if we talk about natural scoring ability and athleticism, if you would have told me that Alijah Arenas wasn't LeBron's son, I would be baffled. He's right now he's already a little bit taller than Gilbert, more athletic than Gilbert. But now he's got the mentality that Gilbert has and the shooting ability that Gilbert has. I ain't gonna lie to you. Elijah's the truth. He the one. He the one, man. And I think this biggest difference, obviously, between the two guys, the two kids in their path, is going to be down to the selections and opportunities that they've been placed in front of them. I think Bryce and Bronny have never really been in a position in which they've had to develop at a rapid rate. Yeah, they've had the light on them from a young age, but they never really had to grind it out. They never really had to, see help defenses. They never had to make adjustments based on how the team is guarding them. They never really had to be in a leadership position. They've never had to. I mean, we see Elijah. Bruh, if he doesn't score 30, 40, 50 points, they get destroyed by 100. You know what I'm saying? And we've been able to at least see him slide into a spot in AAU where he's got to play efficient basketball because he's got other talented players around him. But that's it. You're going to see me in that light just a small portion of the year. For the rest of the year, I'm hooping and I'm working on what I need to do to get better. I'm putting myself in the most difficult situations right now so that when I got the people defending me in the future, I got more physical, stronger, faster, double teams, help. I've been there. I mean, we've seen Elijah play 1-on-5. Bro, we haven't even seen Bryce. Have we seen Bryce go for 30 yet? And I understand the game is not all about scoring. But what defensive prowess have we seen from him? It's solid for him to he was able to average a block. But that's where my questions come in. Now, obviously, the kid is talented enough to play Division I level. He played on the EYBL. He's playing with Sierra Canyon. The kid is talented enough to play. I think we're going to catch a lot of heat his direction simply because of who we believe his dad is and what we believe him to be able to do simply because of who his dad is. So there's going to be pressure on him, but he's been able, like bro said, to slide under the radar for the majority of his career. And even Gilbert agrees with me.
And honestly, I don't know if that's for the best.
Doing that team up shit, it hurts your children. I said high school is development for you.
Especially if you are the son of LeBron James. Yeah, I'm sure that education matters. Bro, LeBron James kids are millionaires already. Education is nice. Hey, look, I just want you to have a good head on your shoulders, be surrounded by the right people that are going to guide you into the right decisions to make. You're not going to be out here in the streets. So just, I'm going to put you in the right environment. I understand that's important. But I want to, if you want to hoop, let's put you in a position in where we can allow you to be successful. I think also the slight difference is LeBron is still playing, right? Gilbert has stopped playing a long time ago, partially because of injuries, etc., but he's been able to access time to his son a little bit differently, right? He's been able to attend all his high school games, critique. Apparently Gilbert says they train in the mornings before he goes to school, so completely different. You know what I mean? Having somebody like that push you versus LeBron still playing on his own, so he doesn't have time necessarily to worry about the things that his sons have to do.
You and your child ain't about winning fucking championships. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask why you didn't send him right to Sierra. And yeah, like I've never seen a college coach come down and say, "Yo, how many high school championships you won? How many AAU championships you won? Oh, you average 40. I want you. Right? I got a bunch of people that can pass the ball to you."
Gil might have a bit of a point here. As a junior, he has received a limited playing time and remains buried in the team's lineup despite being ranked as a 4-star prospect and the 100th best player in his class, while as a senior, he's currently coming off the bench for Sierra Canyon. This disparity between his ranking and on-court performance has led to skepticism about the justification for his status as a top prospect.
And that's what I was going to get into. At the end of the day, a lot of y'all believe he's a savior. Look, I think he's talented. I think he's just going to be what it is. I don't think he's going to be... Like, Bronny's more naturally gifted in terms of athleticism, in terms of he's got a tight handle already. He can shoot the ball. His problem is in his head. Bryce has a similar problem where hasn't developed that killer yet. But additionally, I don't think he's as naturally gifted. He doesn't jump like Bronny. He's not quick like Bronny. He doesn't have size like Bronny. So I don't know if that yields the best for him in regards to what the expectations are on him.
on 247 Sports while being a 4-star on ESPN, the rankings are all over the board, and they're just numbers at the end of the day. But Bryce James is 17 years old, and it feels as though we've only gotten a very limited view of his game. The story of Bryce James has evolved over the years, with significant ups and downs in his scouting trajectory. In middle school, Bryce showed flashes of potential, but was not considered a standout talent.
Y'all finna tell me this dude was moving like this, the same age as his brother.
By the looks of his game at the moment, he might need a few years to build his
Ooh.
frame and to build a role for himself to be ready to play at the professional level.
Ooh.
And that's okay. As Bryce prepares to transition from high school to college or other developmental pathways, the question of his NBA potential still remains open. At his current
Like, what?
skill level, he is not ready to complete at the professional level, of course, but it's far too early. Admittedly,
Like, come on, guys. Let's be honest with each other, bro. The problem is LeBron James' athleticism, mom's body. Bryce 6'6", mom's athleticism.
he's not quite the player that some are hyping him up to be. However, players develop at different rates, and Bryce still has time to refine his game. When you're the son of LeBron James, you have to grow up quickly, but this is still just a 17-year-old kid at the end of the day. Growth
Like, while I think he can shoot and he's got a repeatable shot, I don't think this is a game shot. Just because of where he's shooting it from. You got this little kid right here that, you know, he's right there on top of that shot. I think that's just what it is, bro. Like, it's just a lot of work I think he needs to get to. I mean, with the right program like Arizona, I'm not knocking them. They're a pretty good program in terms of getting guys in the weight room, getting them stronger. I think that we could see a scenario in which he hoops. The issue is going to be, what does Elijah do? Because if Elijah comes to that school, I ain't gonna lie to you, they already lost. You know, they're gonna lose some of their senior guards. I don't know if Bryce is the court, bro. What do y'all think, man? Realistically, I think it was just NIL money, opportunities, and the fact that he's gonna be relatively close to home. Arizona ain't nothing but like an hour away from LA. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about it in the comments below. Like, do we think that this is going to be an opportunity for Bronny to really, Bryce to really get his opportunity away from LeBron?